Yeah, and in terms of the worst, there's a really, I guess, powerful watchdog aspect where someone will post on the latest outrageous thing that O'Reilly or someone said, and people call the sponsors and people email, and there's a policing aspect of the corporate media, and then also bringing forward stories that are getting like no play, and all of a sudden all the cable news has to pay attention to this story because people are talking about it.
Well, the
attorney
attorney...
They wouldn't be talking about it if they didn't know about it, though. So
the attorney firing scandal was largely driven by Talking Points memo. That's a great example. I mean, here in the state, I think it was a real watershed moment when Julie Waters, who's one of our front pagers, but at the time she wasn't, looked around and discovered that Martha Rainville's website was full of plagiarism.
Some from Hillary Clinton's
Some from Hillary Clinton's website, as my understanding.
Cross-pollination.
Yeah, and then there was a whole lot of reasons that the Rainville campaign was troubled. They were making about every mistake they could. But that particular moment is considered a lot of folks will look back as a watershed moment, and that came from the blogs. More recently, we Green Mountain Daily broke the story about the state police approaching pharmacists and asking for prescription, Schedule 2, I think, prescription record dumps, which goes against a lot of laws, federal, and at least the spirit of some of the local laws, although not necessarily the letter. And, we broke that on, I believe, a Monday, and there were the denials over the next 2 days, and it was the end of that week, Friday, happened in the course of 5 days when the state police had their mistakes were made press conference.
Right.
So that happened very quickly, got a lot of coverage. That sort of thing happens. And we don't usually break a lot of stories, but it does happen sometimes. And we certainly will grab stories that we think are interesting in the traditional media that aren't getting enough attention, or some piece of them, some detail where we may feel that the traditional media is burying the lead,
right,
and what's really going on there, and drag that and pull it out. And we don't have that kind of adversarial relationship here with a lot of the press. I know a lot of the reporters, read our blog, read the other blogs, and there's a real, I wouldn't say a direct association, but there's interaction there that I think is positive.
Alrighty. We are going to see if we can get through our vocab quiz in the remaining moments. Are you ready for the lightning round?
All right.
What is a tip jar?
Tip jar is where you can use those comments that we were talking about,
right, and
give good comments and give somebody enhanced status on the blog to troll rate, as we were talking about.
Okay. So if someone recommends my comment, I get Mojo. What is Mojo?
Mojo is that status that you accumulate by putting a tip jar comment where people, if they like what you post, can pile in the positive ratings.
Okay.
And Mojo is that power to troll rate other folks, to see the comments that have been hidden because they were tagged as troll comments, that sort of thing. It's not very much, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, initially when I was visiting these sites, I thought it felt kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or something very silly, but then I got really fascinated by the way people's ability to recommend and troll rate people elevates and makes people go away. So there's a way that the community is actually built and the dialogue is sort of shaped by everyone.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. And and that really is reflective of the way it works in the greater blogosphere, where you've got so many blogs, and hopefully the folks who are consistent and who write well, the cream rises to the top. And if someone is going way out of line and is putting out a lot of stuff that is really incorrect, their blog loses traffic. So this sort of rating system it sort of mirrors that greater paradigm.
Great. All right, John, thanks so much for your time. We could keep going and going and going, and maybe we'll have you back. Thank you for kicking us off on a fantastic inaugural episode.
Sure.
And we're doing it. Democracy in Action. 2006 was a major turning point with the Democrats getting to Congress, and we'll see what happens in November. I've got a good feeling. How about yourself?
I don't want to jinx it.
All right. I shut up. Thank you, people. Good night.
We're gonna have a good time.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Do it.
That they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life,
Do it.
liberty,
Do it.
and the pursuit of happiness.
Do it. Do it.